Guys, so welcome to Aussizz Group. मैं हूं आपका दोस्त एंड आपका होस्ट धवल शुक्ला from Aussizz Group and welcome to Aussizz Group. In a Friday we started on 30th of I guess last month 30th. We every Friday we have started broadcasting sessions on study in Canada, in which we are going to help you regarding all your doubts and queries related to study in Canada. Or also in that we are going to talk on different topics that will help you to solve all your doubts and all your queries get clear. Okay, so we do have Canada destination manager with us. Her name is Miss Shraddha. So Shraddha, welcome to the session.
Hello everyone. Thank you so much, Dhaval, again for a warm welcome. And I hope in this pandemic time we are all coping up with the good health. And these days the cases are also going down. So let's hope for the safe and sound recovery of everybody, and the family members are like safe and sound. So I hope everything is going well at everybody's end. And yes, as promised, every Friday 5 p.m. we will be coming live on our Facebook channel, YouTube channel, even on Instagram, so that you can have the profound knowledge about Canada student visa. Not just that, you can also tune in to every. Of course, you'll be tuning into 5 p.m. If not, if you miss the session, you can see it on our Facebook or different social media pages, and you can definitely DM us with all your queries or any doubts if you have. We are ready to help you out with that. And yes, as promised, we are here, and in today's session we'll be covering the different steps that are involved in Canada student visa.
Yeah, thank you, Shraddha. So please, guys, please note down the day and time. It's every Friday at 5 p.m. You just have to, live available on a different social media platforms like Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. On that, we are going to broadcast new sessions every Friday at 5 p.m. So Shraddha, we have promised our students, or every weekly we are going to, provide them updates regarding to study in Canada. So for this week, do we have any update regarding to study in Canada?
So the updates are the same. There is no as such change in that. But yes, they have added one more feather. Like, please guys get vaccinated, because in the coming time, if you are really planning to fly in this year, in the year 2021, you're supposed to be vaccinated. And if you're vaccinated, it would become easier for everybody to have a safe kind of an atmosphere when you reach there, when you reach your destination, that is Canada. So please get vaccinated. That is one thing. And yes, on this Sunday, that is 23rd of May, let's see. I hope the travel bans, the restrictive travel bans are lifted up for Indian international students. Let's hope for the best. If not, we'll definitely look out for the options that's there. So for updates as such, there is no new update, but yes, we are hoping to lift up the restrictions, the cross-border restrictions for international students from India to, of course, Canada. So that's
Okay.
the update.
Yeah, thanks, Shraddha, for the recent updates. And in previous sessions, we have seen that there was one update that first fall intake. If student is submitting a visa file before 15th of May, there will be Canadian embassy or High Commission will make sure that student will get visa before 6th of the August. Okay, so what do you think that still student need to think about Jan intake?
Okay, about fall intake, that is the deadline that is given by the High Commission, which means that if you would have submitted by 15th of May, your file definitely would be, you'll definitely get the outcome by 6th of August. If not, they will try to get it soon as possible. But if not, then you can just have to update it with you might have to get the deferment for Jan 22 intake. However, children or students over here, I would request you to, you know, pace up your process. Pace up as in, speed up your process. Even though there are like, pandemic time and all, जब जैसे ही market खुलेगा या जैसे ही ये restrictions निकलेंगे, there is a tremendous crowd who are waiting to go to Canada like anything. So if you are saying that you have enough time, or you can just relax for a while and we'll see when the borders will open and then you will plan to apply and all, that would not be the right choice for yourselves. So please guys, do not wait for the restrictions to happen. This is the time to work upon your skill sets. You may increase your IELTS banks, you may find another good institutes, like which will definitely help you out to have a better career. So please guys, do not waste your time in just wandering around. Just work upon yourselves in terms of skill building, in terms of your IELTS, in terms of finding up the right colleges for right institutes for yourselves. So this is the time for that. So if you miss upon fall intake also, please work upon your next intake, because next intake is going to be very competitive for all the students out there. So that's the one thing that you need to take care of.
Yeah, that's completely a good advice to all the students. And now we have covered different sessions and in which we have talked on different topics. So now let's do a quick recall on that. So first, in the first section, we talk about the which are the booming industries in Canada. Now there are 8 and more than that booming industries in Canada, including petroleum, engineering, medical and primary care, and applied science and science, and so many more. Okay, to get to make your career in this booming industry, obviously you have to choose a particular or perfect program. Okay, so we talk on what are the fields that which can lead you towards this booming industry, that you can secure your career into this industries. Okay, and in third section we have covered about the levels of study. So many students, they have couple of questions in their mind, that which programs or which level of program they need to secure enrollment, or what they think about it. Okay, so Shraddha, on a quick recall, can you help us with the what a student, which level of program student need to think if they are having a UG degree, or if they have completed higher secondary and thinking about the UG program?
Okay, thank you, Dhaval. Thank you, Dhaval, for the quick recap. Let me just add to the recap that we did. So, why the students who are planning for Canada, they definitely are looking for glorified lifestyle and all, and that is how they have to make the careers in that particular field. So, for getting into the good careers, they are supposed to get into the booming industries. So, as Dhaval mentioned, there are 8 booming industries in Canada, or more than that also. But we have covered a brief session on that, and then after that we helped you out into the having the strong foundation in terms of which field or which kind of streams that you can apply for. And in the last session we helped you out with the different levels of study. So in this session I'm just getting you again back to that session, and we'll definitely covering the steps that are involved to involved in Canada student visa. So about Canada education system, we covered about one simple fact, that is academic year consists of 2 semesters, and one semester is for 4 months. So if I talk to you about Canadian education system, academic year is of 8 months and calendar year is of 12 months. So you have 4 months extra with you in like you buy extra time for yourselves to have more part-time jobs or something like that. So that is the the semester system and how the calendar year works. The second thing, we talked about the levels of study. Now, as as Dhaval has mentioned about the UG students or a 12th grader. So 12th graders can go to a certificate program which is of 1 year. That is a normal certificate program. That is post-secondary certificate program. That is of 1 year. They can go for diploma programs which is of 2 years, right? So sorry, I'm so sorry. So if you are going for 1 year program, that is a certificate program. If you're going for 2 years, it could be diploma program or associate degree. If you go for advanced diploma, now advanced diploma is post secondary and post diploma. So if you're a 12th grader, you have to see for advanced diploma program, which is post secondary, and of course you can plan for bachelor's. So these are the 5 different levels where you can take your entry in your Canadian education system. That's one thing. If you're a graduate, irrespective of 13 years or is sorry, irrespective of 3 years or 4 years program in India, so depending on your profile and the degree that you have earned, you can get into the different levels. Like you can get into a graduate certificate program which is of 1 year. You can get into postgraduate diploma which is of 2 years. Then you can get into even advanced diploma. I have just mentioned about post secondary level. Now you can go for post diploma level advanced diploma program which is of 3 years. You can plan for masters. You can also, and few of the cases, if you do not have, if you have not earned enough credits, you also can go for diploma programs as well, right? So these are the different places where you can apply for If it is masters, then again I have told you about double masters. I have told you about, if you have double masters, you can go for MBA. Double masters in MBA is possible or not, that is very, situational kind of an situational kind of an profile that we'll be looking for. Yes, you can get into the international business management after your MBA. So there are different kinds of, entry levels for postmasters. Talking about PhDs, for PhDs, it's like, you have to find the mentor over there. You have to submit your thesis project. If you have, if it is if it gets approved by the mentor, then and then only you can apply for PhD programs. And those are, two types of PhD programs are there. One is sponsored and the other is non-sponsored. It is very difficult to get into the sponsored PhD program. So usually students opt for non-sponsored PhD programs. So these are the different entry levels. So it is very much important for you to understand where your what is profiling and where you are what is your current status of your education. If you understand that way, and then it becomes an easy process for everybody, or every student, and can really thrive in Canada. So that's about the level of studies in Canada.
Yeah, thank you, Shraddha. That's completely fascinating that, if students, if you have done the higher secondary or you are a graduate, there are plenty of options and different levels of study they are offering in Canadian education system. Okay, so if you have missed the previous sessions, please refer our social media pages like Facebook, and you can also subscribe it on YouTube channel. And if you have any doubts related to previous session or related to the session, please go on to that, please watch it. And if you have any doubts, please mention it, or put it in the comment section. We'll be very happy and very quick to answer you that as well. In between, if you have any doubts, you can contact nearest office as well. Okay, so now we have we have shown about the how the programs and level of study works. Okay, so students, they always have a question in their mind, and it is full of the question that relates with the process flow, when they should start the process, how the process work, what are the different step of the process, IELTS kab deni chahiye, when they will have to pay the fees, how they can streamline this process. So Shraddha, can you help us for that?
Yes, yes, absolutely. I'll help you out with that. So the first thing first, students को ज़्यादा दिमाग नहीं चलाना चाहिए. Of course चलाना चाहिए. I didn't mean to say this thing. The thing is like the very first thing that student really needs to decide is today, because if you talk about timelines, it's very very it's very I would say a tricky question that if you are looking for. For example, if you're still a student, right? The actual timeline, if you're really planning to have an international education in your if it is that is in your bucket list that you are looking for an international education, you have to start as early as possible. In terms of if you're if you're still a student, you have to start a year prior. Why? Because it requires the preparation for different standardized examinations, name it as IELTS, PT, TOEFL. Or if you're going for a higher university for profile building, you might have to give GRE or GMAT also, right? That depends on what kind of institute that you're planning for. But before that, you really need to have you need to shortlist the program, shortlist the universities and all. Or for that matter, if you are little if you're little late, or if you really require the assistance, so we Aussizz group are always here. Like, we always help the students in having the right guidance. So we help the students to not just to get into the preparation for IELTS, but we also help them the shortlisting of the universities and all. So we'll definitely cover each thing step by step. But the key point is the timeline. There is no right timeline. If you are if you have to start today, you have to start it, because it requires many other steps. And it is like, it is not overlapping steps, it is like you have to follow step by step. And that's why it is important to start today. So that is about the process. And majoritarily दो ही मेन प्रोसेस है. एक आपको एक कंसल्टेंट के पास जाना है, दूसरा आपकी टिकट बुक करके फ्लाई करना है. बीच का काम हम लोग कर देंगे. आप यू डू नॉट हैव टू वरी अबाउट इट.
Yeah, exactly. And with we will be using all our expertise for that. Okay, so the first most question is, if student has thought about Canada, if he has decided to go on Canada on a study visa, so what first step they he or she need to take?
Okay, they can visit our Aussizz group for sure. We are pioneer in immigration. Now we have started into the education, and Canada is our forte. We are becoming a Canadian consultants as well. So yes, they can come to Aussizz group. Not just that, will how and why they should come to Aussizz group, because we help them to weigh out the requirements and constraints very well, so that उनको जो चाहिए वो हम उनको definitely provide कर सके, cater कर सके, so that they can get into the right program, and that will definitely facilitate their PR options little later on, because every student come with a different kind of requirement. मुझे यूनिवर्सिटी ही जाना है, मुझे कॉलेज ही जाना है, मुझे तो बस भेज दो पीआर के लिए जाना है. So every student comes with different expectations, and we all this group really help them to fulfill their expectations, and will help you to have a very affordable kind of an institute where their dreams where they can really achieve their dreams. So that's how the very first step is to come to Aussizz group, or any consultant that they feel that would definitely give the right guidance. But yes, we have the transparency that we maintain, so I guess Aussizz group would be a better option for them. The next thing is, like, of course, the very first thing that we do is the fill up the form. Now filling up the form means that we want to understand the profile of the student, right? When I have to give the right option, the very first thing is that I have to take into consideration what exactly the student is up to. Like till today, what is he up to? Like abhi tak usne kya kiya hai, right? That is the very major thing that I want to know. So we would definitely fill up the form where you have to put in the basic details about your educational qualification, your name, number, and so like a very what kind of program that you're looking for, what is your graduation and all. So that is the first step, that is filling up the inquiry form, that is coming to this thing. Also, to just add one thing, you can always visit Aussizz group. You can always your nearby office, like we have 6 branches across India, so you can visit any of the branches. If not, we are just a call away. In this pandemic time has actually made us tech savvy. तो आपको हम लोग virtually भी definitely उसका we can help you in virtual counseling, online counseling, with whatever medium is possible for you. So you need not worry about this thing, but just reach out to the right consultant that will really help you out to shape up your careers in your, if you want to go for Canada or any other country for that matter. Right, Kavan?
Yeah, completely. And once the student will finalize about the college or about the university with the course option, okay. So in a previous session, we talk about the what are the general requirement. Okay. So and when it comes to Canada, what are the standard examination requirements are there? So what student need to keep in mind after finalizing college or university and the course option?
Okay, so let us just see that if you have the profile of the student, then we have to start working upon it, right? Because we'll help them for the counseling, we'll make them clear about what is the right place to go for, which university or which kind of an college would suit them. Because if they want to go to university, they need to fulfill the entry requirements, or even for that matter, if they want to go for college or any institute, they need to fulfill the entry requirements, right? So we'll weigh out the requirements, we'll see the constraints. For example, a student comes up with a मुझे सिर्फ university ही जाना है, I really want to go to only to the universities. But if a student is having more than 7 or 8 backlogs, then it becomes difficult for us to make to apply for the good universities. However, there are options which would be accepting 8 backlogs, up till 8 backlogs, or even 9 backlogs. But at that point of time, it becomes you have to have the right kind of guidance in that particular manner. In this particular case, if a student goes with a good college, right, even though it is 7 backlogs or 8 backlogs, but if a student goes with good college with let's say a very good placement opportunities are possible, or the employment rate of that particular college is good, then we can even go for postgraduate diplomas or even postgraduate certificate programs, which will enhance their profile, and then they can get into the masters. I'm not saying not to do masters, but they have to look for the another way. Let's say if a very good student comes to us and have a budget constraint, okay, I can only spend up till, let's say, X amount, let's say 12 lakhs or 13 lakhs. Then we have to weigh out options in such a manner that we have to see, the student is matching all the other requirements. So we have to see in terms of fees. So that's how the counseling process has been done. Now after this counseling process, what we next thing is that we help them to do is about the like the very उनके पास पहले क्या चीज है वो हम लोग देख लेते, फिर उनके पास जो चीज मिसिंग है वो हम उनको बोलते कि यू हैव टू दिस यू हैव टू फुलफिल दिस पर्टिकुलर थिंग, देन एंड देन ओनली यू कैन गो फॉर दिस थिंग. The very first step is the standardized examination test that they have to do it. Now standardized exam three types. एक होता है language proficiency test, then the second thing that you have is language proficiency test जो है, second you have aptitude test, and third is specialized examinations. Specialized examinations का इतना कोई importance नहीं है. These two are important, that is standardized that is language proficiency and aptitude test. When I say language proficiency, why is it necessary, right? It is necessary because we Indians are non-native speakers, right? Even though English is a language which is being spoken widely in our country, however, we are non-native speakers, and that's the reason we have to prove our proficiency in English language. So there are different tests available that we have, right? So IELTS, PT, TOEFL, then CALE, CAEL is known as CALE, then we have English Duolingo, then we have IELTS indicators. So there are many different, language proficiency tests. Now, if I talk about aptitude tests, these are like, that will have verbal ability and quantitative aptitude, which means GRE or GMAT, depending on the university or an institute that you're planning for, right? But aptitude tests are not that compulsory for the, for education in Canada, but yes, proficiency tests are compulsory. So Dhaval, you must have seen के without IELTS भेज दो कनाडा में. So please, आप बताओ कि क्या हो सकता है अगर without IELTS जाते हैं.
So definitely we belong to a non-native English speaker country. Okay, so obviously any English speaking country hai. Okay, so they will ask about the English language proficiency. So obviously if anybody is looking for that, to pursue further study in Canada, definitely they have to go through the English language proficiency and they have to prove it as well. Okay, but guys, here we have noticed one point, that Canada is putting priority on IELTS exam. Okay, but simultaneously they also accept TOEFL and Pearson test as well. Okay.
PT.
Yeah, PT. Yeah, exactly. So they are giving priority to IELTS, but they also accept TOEFL and PT as well. So student can keep this in mind. Okay, so after one student will be having all the documentation or English language proficiency ready. Okay, what next step will come up when it comes to the application? What next step student need to keep in mind?
Okay, Dhaval, I'll help you with that. But let me just add a little point about IELTS and PT TOEFL. So if you talk about the proficiency test, this is the requirement of the university or the college that you're looking for, right? So whether IELTS is, accepted or not, PT is accepted or not, TOEFL is accepted or not, that is subjective to the university to university, college to college. At the same point of time, if you look for the high commission, that is the visa process, right? For visa processes, IELTS, they have made it mandatory because it is easier for them to authenticate the scores. However, now the different examinations like PT and TOEFL, you can actually authenticate the score. That's how they have been accepting these particular scores as well. So even PT and TOEFL has been accepted in Canada student visa, but yes, then you have to have the other terms and conditions applied to it, and IELTS is the foremost examination. Yes. The second point about the what Dhaval has mentioned, once you have all your academics right, once you have your IELTS done, the second process or the second major importance is all about the application for the colleges or the universities. राइट, वी हैव ऑलरेडी एक्सप्लेन अबाउट के हम लोग कैसे काउंसलिंग करते हैं, कैसे ऑप्शंस देते हैं, राइट. बट अभी तो एक्चुअल प्रोसेस हम स्टार्ट करेंगे, राइट. इन दिस एक्चुअल प्रोसेस what we actually have to take into consideration, we have to consider about the country. So we have that has been sorted, Canada. Then we have to consider about the college or which kind of university or institute that you're looking for. तो वो हम आपके प्रोफाइल पे डिपेंड करते हैं, एंड द प्रोग्राम और द कोर्स दैट यू आर लुकिंग फॉर. तो वो ये तीनों का अगर कॉम्बिनेशन आपको बेस्ट मिल जाता है, so it is like a win-win situation for all of us. So that is one thing. ना एप्लीकेशन प्रोसेस में बहुत बार एप्लीकेशन फीस अवेलेबल होती है, कभी कभी वेव्ड ऑफ होती है. सो लेट्स जस्ट गो विद द नॉर्मल फ्लो, लाइक 80% ऑफ द चीजें कैसे होती है, लेट्स जस्ट कंटिन्यू विद दैट. Now, if I talk to you about the application process, it is usually online. Now, in online, it could be from portal based, or you have to just fill up the application form and send it in over the email. That's how you will be applying. Now, this is a very simple thing. What is application? क्या क्या होता है उसके अंदर? जैसे they will be asking you a very normal thing like who you are, what is your name, what is the contact details, what is your address, then अभी तक आपने क्या क्या किया है, अभी तक आपने कितना पढ़ाई किया है, मतलब till now what is your academic qualification, the educational qualification, if you have any gap, like what did you do till today, that is what they require, right? और उन सबका justification, that is what they require. If you are saying that I am Shraddha Shah or he is Dhaval Shukla, I mean मैं बोल सकती हूँ कि आई एम ऐश्वर्या राय और ये ऋतिक रोशन है, पर वो प्रूफ कैसे करेंगे, right? So you always would require an ID proof, that and passport is one ID proof which is like an international document where you can travel to different places. So you would require your passport. You have given your IELTS test, so you would require IELTS ka copy or PT or TOEFL, whichever examination you have given to, whichever examination you have given to prove your language proficiency test. The other documents are your educational qualification till today. Let's say if you've done 10th, 12th, of course, वो तो किया ही होगा. 10th, 12th. Then if you have done diploma, we will require all the diploma mark sheets. Then we will require, if you have done, of course, diploma certificate also has been required. If you have done bachelor's, then in bachelor's will be definitely require all the mark sheets. Now there is a question about transcripts. Transcripts is one thing that is not always required for the admission process, but transcripts is required for the registration process. So students out there who are really planning for any international education, please get your transcripts, write it, and get it done like at the very first day of your application. Why? Because even though it is not required for the application process, but yes, it is definitely required for the registration process. I'll definitely help you out in the coming time कि हम लोग क्या क्या कर सकते हैं, correct? So this is हम लोग उन्होंने उनको submit कर दिया and we have done with the application. The other documentation will definitely have a separate session on what are the documents those are required, but I'm just giving you an outline about what has been done in the application process.
Sure. Thanks, Shraddha. I just do have two quick questions on the application portion. Okay. So, we have seen in Canada, there, the college or university are taking application charge and, during the application submitment. Okay. So what is the average cost of application charge? Can you help us with that?
Yeah, it is around 100, somewhere between $75 to $150. That is the average. It can go to $220 also. It could be $40-50 also. That's very nominal. And at times there have been application waiver is also being given by the colleges themselves.
Sure. Okay. So thanks, Shraddha, for that. And I do have a second question. That is, after submitting application, we will be getting offer letter for student. Okay. So what is the average turnaround time for college and for university after submitting the application between the and to getting, the offer letter?
Okay, so the turnaround time is very subjective from the college to college and university to university. If I talk to you about the universities, usually it is somewhere between 8 weeks to it can go to even more than 16 weeks also. मतलब 2 months to 4 months के बीच में कभी भी हो सकता है. You can get it before also, but yes, the process is longer. So 8 to 10 weeks लग जाता है for universities. For colleges, you may get it in 6 to 12 weeks, somewhere between 1.5 महीने से 2-3 महीने के बीच में मिलता है. At times, there are few of the universities which will give you in 24 hours, right? In few of the colleges, they'll take almost 3 to 5 days. In few of the places, they might take 10 days. So the turnaround time for Canada is not specified. It is, it is a variable constant. Like it's a variable kind of a thing. जहाँ पे you cannot decide. Yes, it is subject to place, college to college, university to university. Will definitely help you out if you want to get the offer letter in 2 days. Then we'll help you out. Acha, you can apply for this particular universities or colleges. That will help you out. The turnaround time would be around 2 to 3 days. So that's how we can work it out for the offer letters. That is the turnaround time.
Oh, that's lovely. So after one student get the offer letter from desired college or university, what next step will come up?
So see, let's just go with the flow. The first thing is like we'll help you out in counseling. The second is you'll be going for IELTS. Third, you're applied for the colleges. Now the fourth point, after application process, let's you have got the positive outcome, so आपको offer letter आएगा. Now offer letter is like one thing that is like the institute has confirmed that yes, you are eligible and you are all welcome to come and join our institute, right? तो वो तो आपको उन्होंने कंफर्मेशन दे दिया. नाउ इट इज योर टर्न टू कंफर्म और बुक योर सीट, राइट? So they ask you for the deposit amount. Now that deposit amount has been mentioned on your offer letter, right? Once you pay the deposit amount, right? Once you pay the deposit amount, then you'll be getting the letter of acceptance, right? Now this, let me help you out with what is deposit amount and all. Let's say your 1 year's tuition fees around 15,000 Canadian dollars. So your approximate tuition deposit would be somewhere around 1250 to 1300 1500 Canadian dollars only. If that is a deposit amount, which is like a token amount, we can say. But as per the SDS rules, it is necessary to pay the complete tuition fees. So if you get the offer letter and if you want to arrange the funds and all, but the very first thing is pay the tuition deposits and then arrange your funds, and then you can pay for the rest of the amount, or you can just do the top up for the rest of your complete tuition fees payment. But if you miss the deadline of the deposit, your offer letter would be revoked, right? आपका वो offer letter बिल्कुल भी valid नहीं होगा. So it's better to go with the tuition deposits. Also, a very important thing to make you to notify is usually usually the deposits are non-refundable, okay, until unless your visas are rejected, it is non-refundable. So think very wisely whether you are really picking up the right organization or not. So that is about the process. Once you have the letter of acceptance, यहाँ पे आपका ये step खत्म होता है. You have got the admission in Canadian education, in Canadian institute. That is the end of this step. The next step would be of the visas, right, Dhaval?
Yes. So till now we have seen the different 4 steps that will help you to secure enrollment in institution, whether it can be a college or it can be a university. Okay, so here enrollment portion will come up. Okay, so the next portion that will come up will start with the visa filing. Okay, so Shraddha, I would just have one question. The first most question is, many country like Australia, New Zealand, or any other country, they are asking about the financial institutions or financial capability of parents or sponsor. Okay, so how the financial requirement will come up in Canada?
Okay, Canada, when a student plans for Canadian as their study destination, right? So the very first thing is easy process. Easy process का मतलब है it's very simple and very cut and crisp and clear things. 1, 2, 3. It's like a checklist. If you're 1, 2, 3, it's easy and simpler to apply for, right? So whenever you are planning for visas, why the financial security is required? Because they want the surety. When you are paying up fees, when you are showing up the living costs and all, you are you are like well settled and well off in your home country, and then you are applying for your see, you are looking for your own benefit. At the same point of time, your family should not be suffering at the at the home country. That's the reason they would require all these financial securities and all. But if you talk about Canada or Indian student ho, so you're definitely, when you go for under SDS category, आपका financials are sorted. You just have to have GIC, guaranteed investment certificate. GIC is nothing but your living cost, and you are paying it upfront, right? You are paying it in, it's like you're opening a bank account. The way we open a bank account in Axis Bank or SBI, you just open an account and you deposit the money. It's just almost just the same process. The only thing is you have to look for the authorized banks, right? Authorized banks are CIBC, Scotia Bank. Scotia Bank is most preferred bank by the students. There is no difference in between any of the banks, but it is most preferred bank by the international students. So Scotia Bank is there, ICICI Bank is there. So these are the different banks. You have to open an account and you have to deposit 10,200 Canadian dollars. But when you will receive the certificate, it is of 10,000 only, which means आपका जो living cost है एक साल का, that is determined by the Canadian government, that is $10,000 only, right? Only इसलिए क्योंकि बाकी countries का ज़्यादा है इसलिए, okay? So 10,000 is your living cost, and 200 right, is your transaction cost. Transaction cost या आप बैंक ओपन कर रहे हो, आप उनकी सर्विसेज यूज कर रहे हो, so that is the 200 is the transaction cost. So whenever you will be paying 10,200. That's it. And it takes around 8 to 15 days, 8 days to 15 days to get your certificate. You'll be getting the confirmation and all, but it takes 8 to 15 days to get your certificates done. So GIC is one financial document that you'll be looking for under SDS category. Non-SDS categories, yes, you'll be requiring the financial documents to prove X amount of money, which is equivalent to 10,000, and your education cost. I'll help you out in that when we'll be covering the visa categories, right? We'll be definitely covering the visa categories for you all. So I'll help you out with the financial documents which are required for non-SDS category. And this is about the financials that we can look for Canadian education system. So I'll just continue with the visa process. The once you have done your application, you have got the letter of acceptance, then you can apply for GIC. Then you can apply for medical, right? Medical में authorized doctors होते, practitioner होते. Recently, we have got to know that the medical in few of the cities has not been happening for the international students, because they thought that any which ways the travel is not happening, so we'll just utilize those frontline warriors for our pandemic thing. So for the timing, it was little there was the little hindrance in between the medical thing for the time being. But yes, usually it happens in you have to book, you can just book you can just book an appointment to the authorized agents, authorized medical practitioners, and you can get your medical test done. The amount is somewhere around 5,500 to 6,000, barring your tattoos. Yes. So I have a tattoo. If I go with that, it would be somewhere between 5,500 or 6,000 plus 1,400 or 1,500. That would be the amount for medical. And once you have done with this thing, we'll be using the above documents, other visa documents, and we'll procure all the documents, and then we'll apply for the visas. So that's the almost the final procedure. That is, you have applied for the visas. One more thing for PCC, that is police clearance certificate. Let's say you're an Indian student staying out of any other country for more than 6 months or something like that. PCC is mandatory at that point of time. However, my recommendation, please have your PCCs done. PCC is basically police clearance certificate, which means that you do not have any criminal record back in your home country. If you just, it is not been, they do not ask for it. It just, you have to mention it, or you just have to submit it. That is about all the documents for visas. Once you apply for visa application fee is around 150 Canadian dollars. And of course, अगर आपका biometric है तो extra $85 आपको add करना पड़ेगा, so that the total amount comes down to 235 Canadian dollars. If you have already given the biometric, then you do not have to pay those $85, and you can just apply for the visa application for process fee, that is $150. एक लास्ट चीज, बायोमेट्रिक इज वैलिड फॉर 10 years. तो अगर आपके पास बायोमेट्रिक पहले से है तो आपको देने की जरूरत नहीं है. अगर नहीं है तो you have to pay for 235 Canadian dollars. That's how the visa application process. It is around 4 to 6 weeks to review your profile, and then of course your visa final step that we can go for, right, Dhawan?
Yeah,
Hello?
completely. Yes, completely, Shraddha. Okay, so thanks for giving a brief on the student visa process flow works. Okay, for Canada. Okay, and in which we have seen the steps that will help a student to get enrollment, and the steps that will help a student to get a visa as well. Okay, so thank you guys for watching us, and please visit our offices for all your queries and doubts. We are also working virtually as well. We'll give you all the brief information regarding the same, and we are are broadcasting on the different sessions on every Friday at 5 p.m. So please be available on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube channel. And please take care of yourself and your family members. And keep watching us. If you have any doubts, please put it in the comment section, and we'll be very happy to solve it. And you can also contact us for further details.
Thank you so much, everyone. Have a great day ahead. Bye-bye.